In the Caucasian area, unfortunately, it is there is as you know, some problems for us and for other countries in the region. Of course, we want to develop good neighborly relations with our Armenian neighbors as well. One issue which we have with Armenia is, of course, the so-called regarding Armenia's policy to having the so-called Armenia genocide be recognized internationally. Of course, we have different interpretation of what happened in that period. But despite that fact, we have reached Armenia on that as well. What our government did was in 2005, our Prime Minister wrote a letter to the Armenian President proposing to establish a joint commission of historians. Unfortunately, Armenia has not responded positively to this proposal so far. Hopefully, we're hoping that Armenia would change its policy vis-a-vis Turkey and also other neighboring countries, so that we could enter into a normal relationship with this country as well.
During the past 2 weeks, both major Democratic candidates, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, have come out supporting the passage of House Resolution 106, recognizing the Armenian genocide.
Also Edwards.
And John Edwards, unfortunately. 2 days ago, the Berkeley City Council also passed a resolution supporting Armenian genocide recognition. How much longer, in light of international isolation, can the Republic of Turkey continue its genocide denial?
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think we are in an isolation in that regard. It's not that all countries recognize what the Armenians say. Of course, we were disappointed by the statements of all candidates in the Democratic ticket, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Edwards, and we find it offensive. What we believe, if I coming back to the House resolution part of the question, is parliamentary bodies are not the bodies to pass judgment on history, especially on history of other nations. They should more work towards establishing goodwill and establishing friendly ties between the countries. So if the US Congress or any other local body in this country wants to do something good for the Armenians, I think they should think and reflect what they could do to bring these two people more together, rather than, you know, sticking by one view of the question and trying to impose that view on the other side. These are counterproductive.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned the possibilities, or the Erdogan in 2005 proposed a joint commission. What I find hard to understand is how can the government propose a joint commission when its own citizens within its country can't discuss the issue in light of Article 301 and arrest and, in the case of Hrant Dink, murder?
Yeah. But that does not reflect the reality. Yes, I acknowledge that we have some problems regarding that Article 301, and the government is also aware of that fact. And in fact, our government is, even a statement made by our Prime Minister recently, is working on, you know, changing that, because that, I personally believe that doesn't help Turkey. But it is not as if that that article prohibits discussing the Armenian issue in Turkey. Now, I mean, there has been so many books written on that issue recently, which is very much in line with the Armenian interpretation of the history of that by some of them by Turkish academicians. and none of them were prosecuted. It is also a matter of application of the law, implementing the law. Some prosecutors, unfortunately, are more, interpreting in a more narrow way the curve, because similar legislation is valid in many other European countries, some EU members as well. But it's the implementation that because the concept of, for instance, insulting Turkishness, what the article is about, it is that is not a objective thing. So it's a matter something for you could be insulting Turkishness, but for somebody else it could not be. So when the prosecutors, some of them, they open files on this issue, and Article 301. We had similar problems before Article 301. There was other articles of the Turkish Penal Code, and they were changed because at the time European Union was pushing that, oh, you should change 141, 142, 150, 156, which was creating similar problems. And what we did that, and then some creative prosecutor found this article, and then these problems we faced. Of course, this is, as I said, there are still some areas for us to cover, and Article 301 is one of them. And I think that in the near future, we will get rid of this problem.